Alright, finally we're at the first full part, but like I said, these next two parts are all characters no one would ever choose to play. Hell, not even the game will auto choose them for you in free play. That's how useless they are. The first up is the Zoo Sweeper. He, like the Sailor, are one of the few enemies you fight other than police in the villain campaigns, but as the name implies, you'll see them in the Arctic World level in the Penguin Villain campaign, because it's in a zoo. These guys are just being good men and stopping the villains, even with a broom, if need be. But of course, you kill them in one hit. It's also neat that in the hero campaign, in the Penguin's lair level, you can find these guys cowering in fear. It's a nice touch, I guess. The Zoo Sweepers are above the Sailor and Fishmonger because they at least have their broom as an accessory. Sure, they have no abilities, but at least they got something in their hand. Bruce Wayne, the Batman himself technically, is this low? Well, hear me out. Hear me out, boys. This guy is nowhere to be seen in the campaign. At all. No cutscenes, and of course not in the levels themselves. Bruce Wayne in this game has a briefcase which he uses to hit enemies. No other ability of any kind. I think it would have been cool if they at least gave Bruce Wayne the battering ability, which is an ability we'll get to in due time. But at least with the battering, it'll give us an assurance that Bruce Wayne is still the Batman even without the cowl. But my point still stands. Bruce Wayne is this low because he has no ability and his only accessory is a briefcase, not even a weapon. I know what you're thinking. Alfred is ranked higher than Bruce Wayne, aka the Batman? Hear me out once more. Alfred is in the same boat as Bruce Wayne. He has no ability, but he has his signature tray as an accessory to attack enemies. The way he swings his fist with the tray in hand is just so graceful. Majestic, even. More majestic than Bruce Wayne in his briefcase. His double jump also shows how much of an acrobat he really is. He lands his head on the tray as if it's a cushion. It's amazing. Also, at least we see Alfred walking around the Batcave in the hub. I get that we don't see Bruce Wayne because we were literally already playing Batman, but there's my reasoning for placing Alfred higher than Bruce Wayne. Alfred in this roster is a great touch. Granted, he doesn't do much at all, but he's still here, and that's what counts. Here we are, the first character with something of use, and for those who are wondering what something of use is in this game, it's gun. That's right. The amount of characters with no ability but a gun is aplenty. Let's start with the Penguin Minion. For the Penguin Minion, let's just imagine the Gonk Droid with a gun. Boom, you got yourself a Penguin Minion. This guy walks so goddamn slow. Not as slow as Gonk Droid, but still pretty slow nonetheless. Like walking speed. But really though, guns in this game are great, but honestly, they still aren't too great. I mean, guns in LEGO Batman are really glitchy. Sometimes the bullets won't hit the enemy if they're at a higher elevation from you because the ledge blocks it. Penguin Minions have the most standard gun in the game, the pistol. There are other types, but most characters just have like a handgun, whether it be a pistol or something else. It's usually a handgun. Also, these Penguin Minions show up in random places in the Penguin Hero campaign, and they're so laughable when they show up alongside the other Penguin henchmen because they just look so dumb. Alright, here we go. The Goons. These motherfrickin' Goons. You thought I was stretching in previous series with my segments for like useless characters? Well, if you had those complaints in the past, you might want to tune out for these next two parts or so. I straight up hate all of the villain subordinates in the game. They're all the same but with a different color shirt. The Penguin Goon is the first of many stupid characters. I'm just gonna say, they're not boys. There, I said it. All these goons have the same standard crook hat. Which, let's real talk, if you're going to be a criminal, don't wear those hats. If I learned anything from LEGO, it's that wearing these beanie crook hats is a huge tip off to the police that you are out for trouble. And nothing but trouble. Anyway, all these villain subordinates have no ability, just a gun. The Penguin Goon is below all the others because this guy is associated with the Penguin Minion. Alright guys, now get this. The Penguin Goon was sick of going on fish runs for the Penguin, so instead he took off his blue shirt and put on a purple shirt. And now he works for the Joker. This is canon. This actually happened. How do I know? Oh well, it's just that they look the exact same. They didn't even bother changing their face, or their gun, or their crook hat. I cannot stress enough, if you're gonna rob a bank, put on anything other than the crook hat. Anyway, the Joker has the most amount of henchmen, and this guy is the most boring one because the developers just went into MS Paint and used the paint bucket tool to change the shirt color. This is so unbelievably hard to do, you do not understand. I don't know how I'm going to get through 2 whole parts of this with no actual characters that are actually interesting. Let's just move on. Alright boyos, now get this. The Joker Goon was sick of getting pranked by the Joker, so he took off his purple shirt and put on a green shirt. And now, he works for the Riddler. This is actually canon, this really happened. With each and every one of the hundreds of goons you fight in this game. I have a feeling that this one woman got pregnant with not twins, not triplets, not quadruplets, but instead hundreds of babies born at the same time, whatever you call that. Quintuplets, maybe? I don't know. Don't ask me how it's possible. Don't even ask me how Lego figures can give birth, but that's what happened. This poor woman raised these hundreds of goons, but when push came to shove, every single goon turned to a life of crime for the Penguin, then Joker, then Riddler. It's tragic, really. I want to meet the Goon Mother. I want to see how she's doing after all this. Now we're getting to the henchmen. Earlier, I've said villain subordinates as an umbrella term for all the enemies you see in the hero campaign levels. I wanted to use the word henchman as an umbrella term. But there are already these next few characters that are already called henchmen. That's what annoys me about this game a bit. They find a synonym of henchman, goon, and then they make 3 characters out of it. And then there's 3 additional characters labeled as henchmen, which are essentially the same as the goons. And at least henchmen actually have outfits. They just don't swap out shirt colors like the goons do. Although they have the same guns as the goons, I still respect that they at least have cooler outfits. The Penguin henchman kind of looks like a pirate though, and he's lower than the others because 1, he's associated with Penguin Minion, and 2, he's the laziest henchman outfit of the 3. Yeah, you probably were alarmed by the amount of character design that was put in the henchmen of all characters. Again, as per usual, these henchmen have no abilities whatsoever and only have a gun to defend themselves. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. You guys keep forgetting. Gotta get on that, fellas. But really, though, I'm surprised they actually tried with this guy. Considering the goons and the other henchmen we've seen so far, this is commendable. I like the beret and that surprisingly angry look on his face. There's better design on this guy than some of the actual villains later on in the list, but we'll get to that later on. You fight a vast amount of these guys in the Joker Hero campaign. These guys are actually very similar to another goon later on the list. Yes, that's right, we aren't done with the goons, in a way, but that's for another part. I know I've given the Joker henchman a lot of praise for being different, but how does that fare for the Riddler henchman? Well, I mean, just look at his suit. Who knew the Riddler had the funds to dress his henchman better than himself? Like, really, they give the Riddler his grotesque spandex outfit from the days of old, but his henchmen look as fresh as ever. Maybe that's why all the goons switched to the Riddler simultaneously. They're all hoping to be promoted so they can wear a green fedora and green suit instead of a crook hat. It all makes sense now, and I'm going to declare this. This is canon. I'm making this canon because it's the only way to explain why you fight the same guy over and over. Also, before I get crap in the comments, the order of events in this game is the Penguin campaign, then Joker campaign, and then Riddler campaign. They just make you play Riddler campaign first. It's like how Temple of Doom takes place before Raiders of the Lost Ark, despite being the second movie in the series, you know. You get it.